All right. Well, hey everyone, how's it going? Sean here with another GP vlog video. Kind of cold out here. I am in the garage right now. You'll notice there's absolutely no car in the garage. What gives? No Grand Prix. Well, as it turns out, some things had to change. Number one, this bench here, or garage shelf thing, I built that. I'm going to be building an identical one on the other side, and then the car is going to go right here in the middle. So I had to make some use of my garage space. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to have some people moving in with me. That is my fiance and her kids. So we're going to be using her house to build our house. Turns out it's better if she moves in with me. So what I'm doing is making some space or more efficient use of my space. Um, Actually, the shelf that I have my phone sitting on right now is also some efficient space, but I'll be putting the car right here in the middle, and I'll be able to work on it. Anyways, the goal is to get it done within, maybe a weekend, at least to get the motor out of the gray car. So the way that I've kind of figured all this out is that basically the gray car, I'm going to be taking some parts off of it. I'll do some how-to videos and things like that, but the body is in really good shape. That is the actual body. It's not perfect. It's got 180,000, so it's got some scratches and things like that. So it's not perfect, but it's a straight body, and like I said, it's in really good shape. So basically, how this is going to work is when I have pulled the motor and the tranny out of the vehicle, and I'm going to take the wheels. So I'll exchange the wheels from my black car to the gray car. And then, like I said, a couple of interior parts that are good on the gray car that are broke on the black car. Maybe a few other things. I'm not really sure exactly, but trust me, I'm not going to strip it down to nothing. As soon as that is done, whoever out there who's watching this, if you are willing to come to East Lansing, Michigan, that is East Lansing, with a means to load up the body. Again, it's not going to even have any front axles because the training is going to be gone. I can set it up with the wheels and just enough to get it basically up onto a trailer. But if you can get a trailer out here and commit to actually picking it up, you can have it. I will be going down to the Secretary of State. I was talking to somebody else about this. And if you're going to be using the body, which means you're actually going to be driving the gray car, then I'll need to actually transfer the title over to you. But no cost. Depending on which state you come from, you may have to pay what they call like a value tax. Basically, even if you gift something, you literally give somebody something, the state still has to collect their taxes. I mean, we live in a tax society here. So, basically, whatever it's worth, without a motor and a tranny, I wouldn't think it'd be worth 100 or 200 bucks at most. So, if you want to bring out a trailer and you want to load it up in the trailer and take it off my hands, it's yours. And I'm not joking about that. The reason is because I need to get it out of the garage and I need to get it gone so that I can get the black car into the garage so I can pull that motor and then obviously swap. Okay, so that's how that's going to work. Now, the story, if you have not heard so far, the whole thing is that basically the gray car has a rebuilt motor. 25,000 miles ago, so it's got a rebuilt motor, but they did use stock components, so it still has the displacement on demand, and it's basically a stock component thing. And believe it or not, even at 25,000 miles, it's already making some noise. It goes away. It's the typical LS tick, but what I want to do is I want to get rid of the DOD in it completely. So I'm going to keep the bottom end as stock, and I'm going to build the top end up. So a cam Obviously the physical DoD delete kit as well as the tune. I would like to maybe possibly. Well, see, I don't think I need to replace the timing set, but anything else that you guys recommend while I'm there, as far as work, I'm still gonna have the heads sent off because I want to make sure before I put everything all back together that the heads aren't in some way cracked or anything else like that. So I'm gonna have the heads rebuilt, obviously. So anything you can recommend for that? Some kind of a setup. Give me a list. I went to, is it Texas Speed? I think that's what it is. To be honest, I emailed them about my situation, and I tried to get some information out of them, and they couldn't. I never. Maybe it was just the guy that was helping me. I don't know, but I couldn't really get a out the door price with an out the door kit that would include everything I need to do this top end rebuild. For some reason, he was, we talked about the cam and the lifters and stuff like that, but then when I was asking about timing set possibly and everything else, it just went kind of all kahooey. So I'm not looking to spend a lot of money. Okay, I don't. This isn't something that because I got a wedding coming up, I get all this other stuff, so I really need to keep my funds as low as possible. So when it comes to the cam, it's basically just a cam that's going to replace the stock cam. I'm not looking for lope. I'm not looking for anything choppy. I like the stock LS, but I want something. I might as well, since I've got the cam out, I might as well put something in that's a little bit more aggressive, but not something that's got. I know that sounds funny to you guys. Everybody has their own priorities. I'm not looking to make this thing a race car, okay? I'm looking to just basically add a little oomph in the top end, and that's basically it with the tune, with the exhaust, the Speed Daddy headers, and the full 3-inch going all the way back, and the intake if I do an intake, and then the mild cam. Any little things like that you guys can recommend. It does. The black car that I'm putting the motor in does have a rebuilt transmission from Triple Edge Performance. It's a stage 2 kit, so I can do 375 to maybe 400 wheel horsepower before I would be worried about stretching the chain or anything else like that. So I'm not trying to make this thing just absolutely super go. I want to be able to drive the car again. Yes, I like the speed and the pickup and so on, but I got to be real here that this car is not, unless I put a turbo kit on it, and really beef up the tranny and get some freaking nasty tires and things like that. It's not going to be a super fast car. I've already mentioned this before that a Toyota Corolla can basically outrun the Grand Prix by today's standards. So I'm not worried about that. I'm looking for a nice cruiser. I love driving it. I've already explained this in the previous video. I love driving the car. I love the way that it sounds, the way that it feels, drives, all that other stuff. So I'm not looking to make a race car out of it, okay? I'm just looking to put some top-end work into the rebuild to get rid of that DOD, physical DOD, and while I'm there, I might as well do just an ever so mild cam, the exhaust, the intake, and then a tune, and that's basically it. And that's all I'm going to do to the car until years down the road. When everything's all settled and I'm comfortable, I can pull the whole car apart basically and do almost a frame off restoration. That's the plan. I'm never going to get rid of my black car. I was toying with the idea of keeping the gray car and transferring over everything there. But I got to tell you, there's just something about the black and red that I really, really like. I love the gray, but the black and red it's got me. So anyway, so that's it. If those of you out there who have the information who can help me with that to pick out a kit, give me some real links, or message me. Just let me know what's going on, and it's pretty easy, I guess. But whatever you've done to your particular vehicle, things like that, I would really appreciate it. And we'll go from there. So as far as getting the motor out, I got to get myself an engine stand yet. I got to finish up the garage. But I know that one of my subscribers, Ryan, who lives nearby, he did offer his help. But if there's anyone else who'd like to take, 4 or 5 hours out of your day and we could hammer this out, great, let me know. I do want to get video footage of all of this, so step by step, from step one all the way up to the motor sitting out and, basically sitting on an engine stand. Um, I'm gonna do all that stuff, so it's gonna be fun. We'll order some pizzas. We'll have a good time doing this as long as everything comes off. I've done the motor pull 3 times, so this will be the fourth time that I've actually had the motor out. So I know what I'm doing. I know what steps I need to take. I know what's a pain in the ass. I know what's not a pain in the ass. I know what order to do things. I know all that stuff. So I'm very comfortable doing this project, and I just hope that, well, there's a few things that I'm worried about that are going to stick on me, and that's mainly the axle nuts. Now, I have been taking some of this beautiful, wonderful PB Blast stuff, and I have actually been spraying down around that area so that hopefully it will free things up. I plan on getting the car into the garage before I start it and get the wheels off and spray everything down extra good to try to free up that axle nut. If it's been rebuilt 20,000 miles ago, then unless they just disconnected the transmission, which I highly doubt that they did, maybe they did, but I don't. To be honest, I don't even know if that's possible. If you need to get the motor out, um, if the tranny can stay in place, maybe one of you can tell me if the tranny can actually stay in the engine bay while they pull the motor out. I don't think that's possible, but maybe it is. So if it's had a rebuild, 25, 30,000 miles ago, I don't expect those axle nuts to be on there seized. But if they really cranked on them well beyond their torque specifications, then it might be difficult to get them up. I don't know. So anyway, that's it. I appreciate your help, your advice, everything else like that. Just let me know. Give me some advice on, the kit to get, how much it's looking to cost, everything that I need basically. Once I have the engine on the engine stand, then I'm going to do the work myself. And hey, if there's anyone out there who would love to help me swap out, install this kit on the motor, great. I'd love to actually be able to hear from you. And again, I live in the Lansing, Michigan area, so if you're interested in coming out, spending a couple hours, grabbing some pizzas, and just having some fun on there, great. So anyway, thanks again for your support, for all of you, and take care.